deal with PMS cramps and period cramps every month, and you want to learn how to relieve PMS cramps at home, I'm going to teach you 3 really easy ways to do that. I'm Eleni, I'm a nutritional therapist, and I help women like you eliminate bloat, cravings, gut issues, food sensitivities, and PMS without giving up all their favorite foods. Period cramps are really common, but they are not normal. Period cramps affect over 80 to 85% of women at some point in their lives, and that is a lot of women trying to live their best lives while being in pain every single month. Period cramps can range from mild to severe, affecting your day-to-day life to the point where you might have to stay home from school or from work, or miss out on social events because all you can do is lay on the couch with a heating pad, all curled up, just trying to manage the pain. And this might seem normal to you because we're told by our doctors, by the media, that being in pain around your period and having period cramps is just normal and it's just simply part of getting your period. But no, that is not true. It is not normal to be in a lot of pain. Just because something is common does not make it normal. And before we go any further, I want to point out that there are 2 types of painful periods. The first type is primary dysmenorrhea and the second type is secondary dysmenorrhea. Primary dysmenorrhea is when you have painful periods, but there's nothing wrong with your pelvic organs. So the pain is due to other medical conditions. And you might notice that the pain isn't only around your period and you feel it more consistently. Today we're talking mainly about primary dysmenorrhea, although these tips can help support the body even if you have secondary dysmenorrhea as well. So moving on, what causes period cramps? That is really important to understand. And the way that I do things over here, we always want to know why something is happening so that we can truly get to the bottom of things and address the true root cause of our symptoms, instead of taking a band-aid approach. Period cramps are caused by a production of a hormone-like substance called prostaglandins. And before you take that and run with it and think, oh my god, okay, cramps are caused by prostaglandins, so how do I get rid of prostaglandins? You need to know that you can't and you shouldn't stop your body from producing prostaglandins, because prostaglandins are basically what helps you actually have your period. Prostaglandins cause contractions in your uterus, which allows your uterus to shed its lining, otherwise known as your period, Shark Week, Aunt Flo, that time of the month, whatever you want to call it. Prostaglandins are so necessary, but you can always have too much of a good thing. And when your body is producing too many prostaglandins, you get that extra cramping action. So it's more than your uterus needs, and that's when you start to feel pain. And what does that pain even feel like? Well, period cramps can feel different from person to person. They might feel sharp, stabbing, poking, aching, dull, or like a tightening feeling. And when you think of period cramps, you might think of pain in the lower abdomen area, which certainly is a place that you can feel period cramps for sure, but you can also feel them in your lower back or your thighs, which is where I actually primarily used to feel them. At the time, I didn't know it was period cramps because I thought you could only get cramps in the abdomen area, but I would get the worst, dull, achy pain in my thighs, almost to the point where it would make me nauseous. Before we get into the 3 ways that you can relieve cramps at home, let's first talk about what are some things that can make cramps worse, because you don't want to sabotage your efforts, right? Like, why do things that are actively working against you when you're over here trying to do things to make your body healthier? So these are some big things that can make period cramps worse. Not exercising and living a sedentary lifestyle, drinking a lot of alcohol, smoking cigarettes, and not getting enough sleep. I know everybody likes to obsess about their diet and what supplements they should take, but truly these lifestyle factors will make a world of difference. I'm not going to dive into each of these factors individually because today we're here to learn about 3 easy things that you can do to relieve period cramps at home, but I did want to mention these lifestyle factors that can contribute to period pain and period cramps just to make sure that you're aware of them and so that you can start to think about how you might be able to make some adjustments there. And again, some of the heavy hitters that make period cramps worse are not exercising and living a sedentary life, drinking a lot of alcohol, smoking cigarettes, and not getting enough sleep. I have worked with hundreds of women within my nutritional therapy programs, and we have seen so much success in completely eliminating period cramps and period pain by implementing some of the things that I'm about to teach you today. I've had women go from having debilitating period cramps that kept them in bed all day to having no cramps, no pain, even being able to do workouts on the first day of their period within just 1 month. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe with that notification bell and leave a comment down below with any questions that come up for you. Tip number 1, one of the main reasons that you get cramps is because there's an overproduction of a hormone-like substance called prostaglandins. prostaglandins. Now remember, you need prostaglandins because they give your uterus that contraction to shed its lining, otherwise known as your period. But too much is too much. You don't want too many prostaglandins. And magnesium is great for keeping prostaglandins in check. Think about how athletes take magnesium baths when they're really tense and sore. That's because magnesium helps your muscles relax. So imagine you're not getting enough magnesium and your uterus is tightening and squeezing so hard that it's gonna be really painful. But when you bring magnesium into the picture, everything can relax. It helps your muscles relax and it's considered the anti-stress mineral. Period cramps can be a sign that your body needs more magnesium, and you might be deficient in magnesium if you experience cramps, you eat a highly processed diet, you drink a lot of alcohol, or you're chronically stressed out. An easy way to include more magnesium into your diet is to eat avocados, dried apricots, add some kelp seasoning to your meals, drinking bone broth, drinking a nettle infusion, or you can boil a bunch of green leafy vegetables in a pot of water, strain the vegetables, and then drink the broth. Tip number 2 is to eat a raw carrot every day. Another reason that women experience cramps on their periods is because they have too much estrogen in their bodies. You can have high estrogen for a number of reasons, and when it's too high, you're going to be experiencing bloat, cramps, water retention, mood swings, heavy periods, weight gain, fatigue, depression, anxiety, breast swelling and tenderness, insomnia, and you might have even been told that you have PCOS. Eating a raw carrot every day can be really helpful because raw carrots contain antifungal and antibacterial properties, and they contain special fibers that help bind to excess estrogen, toxins, and bacteria to be removed from the body via your stools. And I always get asked by clients, can I do cooked carrots? Can I do carrot juice? No, they can't be cooked. It can't be carrot juice. It has to be a raw carrot. You don't want to cook the fiber down. You don't want to remove the fiber. You want those raw carrot fibers. So make sure that it's a raw carrot. And this one always cracks me up because people either really have no problem doing it or it's like the end of the world to them. And I'm like, okay, you've done really restrictive, extreme diets. You can't do a carrot? A carrot is so benign. Like, it's not a super flavorful, like pungent food. Like, just have the carrot. It's not a big deal. We can do hard things. You can do it. Get your carrot in. Tip number 3 is to sip on ginger tea. Ginger is a really great food that can also help bring prostaglandins down. And remember what I've said about prostaglandins. They are hormone-like substances that help your uterus contract and shed its lining, and that's when you actually bleed and get your period. So you need it, but it's really common that we're just making too much and we start to get those cramps. And ginger has actually been shown to be just as effective as over-the-counter pain relievers, like Aleve or ibuprofen, which is really pretty impressive. One of my favorite ways to use ginger to help relieve PMS cramps and period cramps is to go to the grocery store, buy a knob of ginger, break off a piece that's maybe this big, and add it to some boiling water and make a simple ginger tea out of it and sip that 3-4 days every day leading up to your period. And then also on the first day or 2 of your period. It can be really, really powerful and really helpful. All right, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell so that you can get all the new content that's coming every week. And if you like this video, you're really gonna like my free hormone and metabolism checklist, which I will link in the video description down below. And that's gonna tell you if your hormones, your metabolism, your gut, is that all on the right track, or do you maybe need some help and need to make some adjustments? So go ahead and download that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!